our founder, Henry Ford, believed in the power of artifacts, real artifacts, to help tell the important stories of our past. Those stories of innovation, of resourcefulness, of ingenuity, stories of ordinary people who do something extraordinary in an effort to make a difference in this world. Robert Frost was one of those individuals and a very celebrated poet in America.
Right on the lawn here, Vievee Francis and Paul Dimond came together a few years ago and talking about, wouldn't it be great if we could actually have Robert Frost connected, his poetry and his inspiration, his creativity, to young authors today. One of the things about the Henry Ford that we talk about is bringing the past forward. And what you're going to hear tonight are two great authors who've done that.
We're here tonight to try and make Robert Frost and the history of this house come alive anew for you as we transform the Robert Frost House into a living legacy, a center for the next generation of great American writers who are going to have the same creativity and the same inventiveness that Robert Frost had. I have been one acquainted with the night. I have walked out in rain and back in rain. I have outwalked the furthest city light. I have looked down the saddest city lane. I have passed by the watchman on his beat and dropped my eyes, unwilling to explain. I have stood still and stopped the sound of feet when far away an interrupted cry came over houses from another street, but not to call me back or say goodbye. And further still, at an unearthly height, one luminary clock against the sky proclaimed the time was neither right nor wrong. I have been one acquainted with the night.
The light of life. We walk along the sandy shore among piles of pale driftwood, carved smooth, bleached white by decades of nature's slow and steady strum. Fuel perfect for a campfire any night, with you sitting close beside me to share a rite of passage as old as Eden's vine, joined by the slap of waves against the pier, a soft tulu echoing through the pine, the whine of wind against a sailboat's mast, amidst the burning crackle and shifting fire, the silver crescent moon rising in the east, the flicker of fireflies sparking love's desire, fading like tiny stars to memory, dear, as soon the imprint of our bodies here.
So this last poem I'm going to dedicate to my father, whose heart is so brilliantly bruised, and to my little sister, for whom our mother was her best friend. And it's called A Small Poem. You know, you have those days when they're so difficult, and one person can do one small thing that turns it around, right? From a morning without expectation, a surprise, a word unanticipated and meant, rare and jarring, syllables moving one to tears when the winter sky is a simple blue and nothing is there to impede the dailiness of things. But the word grows from a note, a hello, a salutation, and plants itself like a spring dandelion seed that by afternoon is fully grown and blowing more seeds, lightly, sweetly, a coloratura of delight. And I feel as if I were both the plucked and the child plucking the stem and twirling. How a single word can set the world turning from one moment into the next in startlement. Thank you.